We're at New Brighton Wirral to start off, and King's Parade is the riverfront promenade that you normally drive along to get to the shops at Morrison's. However, on the day that I've taken the next piece of footage, we were all diverted along the back road, which keeps us away from those crashing waves. If you can imagine, well, you don't have to imagine because you can have a look, the size of the waves coming off the River Mersey. They'll also be tossing up stones and all sorts of other garbage. And if you drive along the King's Parade, your car is not only going to get flooded with water, seawater at that, it's going to get stones and everything chucked at it as well. So the police actually closed it off, and we made our way down towards the retail park where Morrison's is. Only when we got to the roundabout we had to turn back and find another way there because the waves had already blocked that route. Once you actually get to Morrison's car park, you're set back enough from the river not to get affected. On a brighter note, outside our flats, the gardens are looking good, the laburnum's out, and as they say, everything in the garden is rosy. The Bank of England base rate has been destroying businesses and making people homeless for the last 12 months, and they still can't see that they're doing the wrong thing. And in Liverpool, the St John's precinct is still trading as far as the shops and the popular food court are concerned, but St John's Market now has about £1.5 million owed in rent, and they've had to close it down. The good news is you can still get your Everton baby wear in the main building. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know I'm fanatical about transport interchanges and getting all public transport to come together in one place. Something to do with the Burt Bacharach song Trains and Boats and Planes that got me started. This is a venue where we actually have planes. Most of the times I have to say, well, there's no planes here, mate. There's no boats here. This is Birmingham, the international airport, and the trains come into Birmingham International Station. The buses come into a terminus below that, and this monorail comes in because it'll take you across to Birmingham International Airport, and you're there ready to board your plane without actually really leaving the building. The reason I'm on this monorail today is not to catch a plane, it's because the National Express coaches go from the airport and not from the train station. You may have guessed from the fact that I'm sitting at the front that the train is driverless, completely autonomous system, trains going both directions, the control of the passengers, the announcements, the screens, the doors opening and closing, it's all automatic. Back to the topic of money and finance, and the way to save yourself from the traditional finance systems crashing is to have some Bitcoin. Most people don't seem to have even been aware of Bitcoin yet, but those who have made quite a lot of money. I have to point out I wasn't a customer of this beauty parlour in Wisbech. I just had to pop my head round and have a look at this desk. And so to Burnley. I have these pictures because Steve Bushby, who's doing the bungalow development and filming it with his new DJI camera, is also a member of Burnley Camera Club, which meets every Tuesday. And he took these pictures of one of their open nights and I put it together for him. Unfortunately, nobody can have lunch with the Queen anymore, but at this pub in Mould in Flintshire, you can at least go and see the Queen's head before you dine. I'm at Seacombe Ferry, opposite Liverpool on the River Mersey, and you can see the progress with the Everton ground that they're building from here. You can also, of course, see all the well-known skyline of Liverpool from the ferry terminal. One of the things that I do from time to time is walk along the promenade, but on this day I decided a slightly different route. Higher up than the promenade level there is a pathway along through the trees, which on a warm day, which this wasn't by the way, it was probably good for shelter. I had a reason for staying up at street level though, because I wanted to see what was going on around Wallasey Town Hall. Now, for decades now, there have been buildings either side of the town hall that belong to the council, and indeed I've visited council offices there myself over the years. Well, one of them's completely knocked down and the other one's in the process of being knocked down. So what's going to be happening there? Well, the sign tells you. Well, I can't go through a month without looking at a bit of new technology. There was a time when I used to buy most of the things that came out when they were new, which cost me a fortune over the years. Don't do that anymore. But here's one to look out for. It's a transparent TV screen. When it's turned off, it can then show you the wall behind. Now, it's up to you how you use this and what you put behind your TV. They've given some ideas in this video advertising the concept, and it appears you can have a kind of ticker line that stays switched on at the bottom of the screen that displays pertinent information about the weather, news headlines, perhaps even phone calls and things that you're receiving if you can link it to your phone. I wonder how long it'll be before it becomes cheap enough to buy. I've been to the Home Building and Renovating Show again this year, and they've been celebrating 30 years of doing this. Nothing much new as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not doing a lot of home building at the moment, but I was interested in these wooden sculptures. The lad on the stand told me they take 2 to 3 months to make, so you can imagine what the price tag is. I think I better go and have a lie down. Because if you're not into home building and renovation, perhaps you're into classic cars and restoration, because they were just across the way. And I'm not going to say I'm going to egg you on to going into this one. Time for one last feature. Let's go back to Lower Heswell on the Wirral.
We're having our coffee under cover in case it rains. There's lots of clouds overhead. We came down to go to Sheldrake's because you used to be able to go there for a drink on the beach. Sheldrake's has been demolished more or less and is being rebuilt, so here we are in Yacht. We've been here once before a few years ago. It's spelt Y-O-T, except it isn't. The O is actually a Greek symbol, so we're still going to call it Yacht because however else do we know to pronounce it. But here we are having a coffee break.
So let's fly in and take a last look at Sheldrake's before it's transformed completely. And this is a view of the dining area that was up on the roof terrace. And this is the architect's view of the new house they're building there. Anything that's built down here will have views across the Dee estuary and to the North Wales hills. And the other feature down here is all the boats, which at the moment are stranded, but from time to time there is some water here. That's all the bits and pieces I've got time for this month, which is a shame because Radio Caroline celebrated its 60th birthday a few weeks ago, and I was going to do a little thing about that as a tribute, but that'll have to wait because we're overrunning already, and I will come back to Radio Caroline next month.